And good morning, high school football fans. Welcome to the High School Sports Roundup presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet right here on ESPN Radio Coastal Georgia, the ESPN app, ESPNCoastal.com, also ESPN Okefenokee, ESPN Radio Okefenokee as well. Thanks for joining us here this morning as we recap all the huge high school football games from last night in the Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee area, and some big ones, some big wins for these Coastal Georgia, Okefenokee area teams. And not a entirely full slate. Had some teams on early buys this week and getting that early off week. Some of these teams, most of these teams, already with 2 games under their belt as well. So taking full advantage of that quote unquote week 0 that high school football is able to play through in the state of Georgia. So fantastic there, but great games last night all around the area. Let's go through these scores and chat about them real quick. And of course, we'll get to the coaches here on the High School Sports Roundup later in the show as well. But first of all, Glynn Academy. The Red Terrors getting their first victory of the year there for 2021 in Glenn County Stadium last night, 35-14 over Winder Barrow. That one was 35-0 at one point in favor of the Red Terrors, and a running clock there in the second half as Glenn Academy able to get that first big win, and a really solid game, really solid first half by the Red Terrors there last night. Camden County defeats Inlet Grove last night, 46-21. The Wildcats roaring off to a 3-0 start to start 2021, and of course in Jeff Herron's return there to Camden County. So looking great so far are the Camden County Wildcats. Ware County as well gets the victory over Baldwin, 41-20. So this is the first time this year they don't score over 50 points, but I'm sure the 41-20 win, they'll take it, and Coach Jason Strickland will take it out there as well, as now the Ware County Gators move to 3-0 on the season. Also, Pierce County gets the victory over Claxton, 38-0, and the Pierce County Bears rattle off 2 straight wins here, 2 straight shutout victories as well over Wayne County and Claxton over the past 2 weeks. Good to see them and checking in with Coach Herron over the course of the week. Good to see them, hear about them getting back to full strength, because we all know just that odd first week of the season. You have guys going out with injuries, guys going out with contact tracing and things like that. Of course, you have the running clock against Brunswick High there in the second half in the first game of the season. So because of not because of the score or anything else, but because of those injuries and just having a limited number of guys to be able to play with. So good to see them getting back to full strength and playing well also with 2 straight shutouts for Pierce County. Frederica Academy drops one to Calvary Day last night, 47-14, and that one of those instances where Calvary Day just seemed like everything was kind of going right for them last night, and everything Frederica Academy was going wrong, kind of going the other way, as read about on the Brunswick News, just a situation where you're going in, you're about to score a touchdown on the 1 yard line with a couple seconds before half, and you end up fumbling the football. Calvary Day returned it for a touchdown. So right as you go into halftime. So an interesting night there, and a tough night, but at the end of the day, playing a tough team there in Calvary Day, and they're undefeated on the year as well. So Frederica Academy will rebound from that, 1-1 now on the season. Charlton County with the 40-0 victory over Long County there last night, and Charlton getting a big win there and moving, still undefeated on the season, moving to 2-0, big victory over Brantley County to start the season a few weeks ago. So Brunswick High, Brantley County, McIntosh County Academy, and Wayne County all off this week. All of those normal bye weeks, except for Wayne County, who had to cancel their game due to COVID and contact tracing and things like that. So we'll see when we see them back on the football field, hopefully next week, and hopefully we see the Yellow Jackets back on the field as soon as possible for sure. But all these other teams too. I mean, you look at the situations that they're in when they come back. Brunswick High, obviously off to a undefeated start, 2-0 on the season so far, and coming back this week against New Hampstead, a potent passing attack there with the New Hampstead Phoenix. They're 3-0 on the year. They were actually leading a team last night 51-0 at halftime. So shows you, what kind of power they have on offense. But Brunswick High, that defense has been playing really strongly so far this year. And you have the bye week as well to kind of rest up a little bit and go over the fundamentals still, refresh your team a little bit and get ready for New Hampstead. So that's going to be a fun one this week. Brantley County 0-2 on the year so far. Had that tough game against Charlton County where they were leading that one when it goes into a rain delay. Come back Saturday, end up dropping it in that game. Excuse me. And then fall last week to Southeast Bullock. So we'll see what they all bring to the table when they come back here next week from their early season buys. And a team that's going into one now is Glynn Academy, and off to a 1-1-1 start to start 2019. And it was good to see them come out and really kind of firing on all cylinders last night. And by no means does that mean everything's perfect or anything like that. Going to chat with Rocky Hidalgo here in a few minutes and talk with him about, things they can even still improve on. But great to see them come out there last night and start fast as well. Not only be executing, but starting fast. The passing game getting going there for Glynn Academy. Tyler Devlin having a huge night, 15 for 19 with 235 passing yards on the night, 3 touchdowns through the air. Had a situation there on the first drive of the game where you see some of that patented trickery from that Glynn Academy offense, where you have the backwards pass to Jackson Wakeling. Wakeland ends up passing it 15 yards to David Prince for the touchdown to open the scoring. So love to see those types of plays, those gadget type plays from Glynn Academy, and they're going to come out with 1 or 2, and they're most of the time going to be different there for the Red Terrors, and fun to see that for sure. But great to see them defensively in the first half as well, really being able to shut out Winder Barrow, make them uncomfortable all throughout the first half. Second half, running clock, trying to burn out that time, and at the end of the day, do allow 14 points, don't secure the shutout, and I'm sure Coach Hidalgo will want to talk about that as well, and securing that second half and making sure you're able to finish a game strong, but still able to get the win, able to get better. And if you listen Thursday at all, that's what I'm talking about with all these teams, even the teams that are winning, like Ware County that are winning 41-20. It's all about getting better and playing teams that you think you can get better against and think you can execute against, and teams that are going to teach you a kind of a lesson as well out there on the football field, because you're going to take all that, put it together for later in the season for the region schedule. Of course, everyone wants to go undefeated. Everyone wants to win all these games. But if you go in a region schedule, if you have 6 region games and you go in at 0-4, it's fine. At the end of the day, it's all right. Now, do you want to be 0-4? No. But can you go 6-0 and win the region championship? Yeah, exactly. You can. So at the end of the day, these non-region games are all about figuring out how to execute, how to make your team better, what to do in those later situations, how your guys are going to react to high pressure situations when the game's on the line there with, you got 1 drive, 2 minutes left. How are they going to react offensively, defensively, etc.? And, how are they going to react when they get big leads as well, because we've seen those evaporate in region games late in the year. So all about that learning experience throughout these early weeks here through August and September, and getting set for the region schedule later throughout the year, throughout October, and of course getting into those colder months. Camden County again, 46-21 over Inlet Grove, and Jeff Herron has that wing T just running extremely strongly for Camden County, and of course the defensively able to get out and get after it there last night again. And so Camden County off to a 3-0 start. Love to see that. Ware County, Thomas Castellanos throwing the ball all over the yard again, running the ball all over the place. A couple rushing touchdowns for Thomas Castellanos last night. Had a passing touchdown. I love to see the connection too to Cartavius Norton out of the backfield, as Norton is such a strong running back to be able to turn around and hand it off to whenever Thomas Castellanos needs a break. But also you have him getting hit out the backfield as well by the quarterback, and and being able to show what he can do in space. So Ware County just off to an extremely strong start. Baldwin, no slouch by any means either. You talk about defensively with the Gators, some huge interceptions last night, 2 interceptions in the first half for the Gators defense, and able to come out away with those and make Baldwin uncomfortable all night, and of course pull away there in the second half. And hopefully we'll hear from Coach Strickland later in the show about that big win for Ware County and them moving to 3-0 on the year, obviously getting prepared for their big region schedule later in the year. And they're going to have a great non-region opponent as well coming up in a few weeks, as you have Benedictine on the schedule for Ware County. And of course, that one was a fun one out in Ware County last year. This year going to be up in Savannah. So the Gators getting set for that big non-region ball game as well. But again, Ware County going out there and scheduling really solid programs, really solid football teams in the non-region schedule to get prepared for that second half of the regular season. And certainly going well so far as that offensive line. I mean, at the end of the day, got to be able to block, got to be able to protect, and that offensive line doing big things for Ware County right now, being able to clear those running paths for Thomas Castellanos and Cartavius Norton as well. And again, Pierce County, man, strong showing all the way around against Claxton. You have the shutout, second straight shutout for Pierce County and the Bears, and clicking on all cylinders there offensively as well, being able to run the football really well. Talking to Coach Herring over the course of the week, saying, "Listen, I don't care if I have to throw it 60 times. I don't care if I have to run it 60 times. We're as long as we're scoring points and scoring points and taking what the defense gives us, that's what I really want." And of course, able to do that last night once again with that balanced attack offensively over Claxton, 38-0. So strong showings by basically everyone in the coastal Georgia and Okefenokee area there last night. We'll come back and start talking to these head coaches all across the coastal Georgia and Okefenokee area about these big wins, about their teams, how they improved, how they got better, and how they're moving through week 3 here of the high school football season. As well, hey, we're moving quickly. It's already starting to get kind of, I wouldn't say cold, but a little less warm, a little less toasty over the course of the evenings there on Friday night. I think it was 72 or something like that when I left the stadium last night. So it's already getting to that time of year. These important high school football games are starting to be played and going to start being played here very quickly and very soon. And hey, haven't talked about it yet, but I know, we'll hit on it later, probably with some coaches, and look forward to it, of course, on the station throughout the rest of the day. But college football back today as well. Officially, I think, officially back today with a full slate of college football games, and certainly can't wait for that. But all that being said, some very important high school football games on the horizon. A huge night of high school football there last night. We'll come back, start talking to these coaches. Rocky Hidalgo, head coach of the Glynn Academy Red Terrors, will be our guest when we come back here on the High School Sports Roundup, all presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet on ESPN Radio Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee. And welcome back. It's High School Sports Roundup here on ESPN Radio, Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee. PJ Zucco back here with you. Going through the roundup one more time. Glynn Academy with the victory over Winder Barrow 35-14 last night. Camden County defeating Inlet Grove 46-21. Ware County defeating Baldwin 41-20. It was Pierce County defeating Claxton 38-0 last night. Calvary Day over Frederica Academy 47-14. Charlton County defeating Long County 40-0. But again, Glynn Academy getting the victory over Winder Barrow last night 35-14. Joining us now, the head coach of the Red Terrors of Glynn Academy, Rocky Hidalgo, here with us on the High School Sports Roundup. Coach Hidalgo, how you doing this morning?
I'm good.
Well, Coach, great to hear. Glad to have you on, and a solid victory there last night for the Red Terrors, as you guys not only able to come out and win, but play strong, especially there in the first half, and get out to a hot start there last night over Winder Barrow.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like our kids played fast. We made plays. I feel like we're getting better. That's how I would sum it up.
Yeah, Coach, and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about here in these non-region contests. And like you said, just able to get better at every single one of these games. And especially, I know last night, Coach, offensively, clicking very well. Tyler Devlin in the passing game, strong, efficient, and able to go through all his marks last night very well.
Yeah, I think we were more on the same page a little bit with the receivers and quarterback. We had some issues last week of where we should have been running our routes, but I felt like we got a lot better with that last night, and we executed the offense like we were supposed to.
Right, Coach. On that first drive as well, you have one of those gadget plays get in the end zone with the backwards pass to Wakeland with the pass to Prince, and always fun to have some of those that not only go out there, be successful, but end up in the end zone as well.
Yeah, I mean, we don't call them gadget plays. We just call them plays. They're plays that we run, and we want to keep the defense on their toes, and Coach Hall does a great job of kind of building that stuff in our offense.
Coach, absolutely. And I know we've talked a lot about the continuity, the chemistry of an offensive line and how it grows together. I know some contact tracing and things like that have kind of made all teams iffy and back and forth throughout the first few weeks of the season. But how do you feel like that group is progressing here in their third game together?
Yeah, I think we're getting better. I do. I think we came off the ball. We're more physical last night, and that's what we've asked our kids. We want every play to be a board drill and knock people around. I think we're getting there.
Talking to Rocky Hidalgo, head coach of the Glynn Academy Red Terrors, here on the High School Sports Roundup. Defeat Winder Barrow last night there 35-14. And obviously, Coach, that all paves the way for the running game. How do you feel like they've progressed as well here and how they played last night in week 3?
Well, I think our backs are getting better. They're doing a great job of kind of fitting in there and finding a crease. And offensively, I think, again, our offensive line, they keep getting better each week. They're moving the line of scrimmage a little bit, getting a hat on a hat. We don't have as many run throughs. So, we're improving.
Coach, and obviously defensively able to come out and hold strong there, especially in that first half. Hold Winder Barrow scoreless and a running clock there in the second half. They're able to get in the end zone a few times. But how impressed were you by your defense as a whole last night?
I think our kids play fast. I got to go back and watch the film on it, but I do think we played faster last night. And, if you play fast, it's one of those things they say you think you stink. And I think our kids have been doing a lot of thinking. I think they're settling in and really starting to understand the role, and we're starting to look like a decent football team.
Right, Coach, absolutely. And on the back end of this defense as well, I know that was a focus, kind of not a lot of guys returning on the whole team, but I know that was kind of a focus, getting those guys stronger and like you said, just kind of in the right position where they're supposed to be, their defensive assignments. Well, how do you feel like the secondary has progressed and how they played last night?
We're getting better. We missed a couple of tackles that we've got to get better on, but we came downhill and put our face on a couple guys and made physical tackles. So I think it's something that if you look at our progress from where we were in the scrimmages to right now, I think it's we're on the right path.
Coach, absolutely. Talking to Rocky Hidalgo, head coach of the Glynn Academy Red Terrors here on the High School Sports Roundup, defeating Winder Barrow last night there 35-14. And Coach, I know on the other sideline there, Ed Dudley, and you talked a little bit with the Brunswick News about your connection with him and what it's like to be able to coach against him. I know it's always a good time when you guys are able to be on the opposing sidelines of one another.
Yeah, Ed's one of my best friends in the world, and that wasn't a lot of fun for me last night. I know he wanted to come in and be competitive, and I would say he probably didn't feel like his team played very well, and it's tough as a head coach when that happens.
Right, Coach. Understandable. And now get that first win of 2021. Now looking into the first off week of the year as well, Coach. What do you feel like is the focus, the main focus for this team moving forward and going into the off week? And what do you feel like you guys can still progress on throughout this off week?
Well, we can't waste the off week. It's not an off week. We've got three. We're going to practice 3 times. We got to get better. We have to go in, put our nose to the grindstone, and go to work. We still have a lot of things that we want to improve. We have things that we want to add in both the offense and the defensive side. So, the kids have got to be there. They've got to be attentive. They've got to be engaged. And, we've got to make some stuff happen next week. That's all it is to it.
Absolutely. Rocky Hidalgo, head coach of the Glynn Academy Red Terrors, our guest here on the High School Sports Roundup. Well, Coach, great to hear from you. Thanks for coming on this morning. Congratulations there on that win last night, but best of luck as you guys look forward to the bye week and working and keep moving forward throughout the rest of the season.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Coach. Rocky Hidalgo, head coach of the Glynn Academy Red Terrors, here with us on the High School Sports Roundup. So as he said, not necessarily an off week. Obviously, not playing a football game next Friday, but still, hey, got to get to work, got to get better. As he said in the past, can't waste practices by any means, can't have bad practices. Got to keep moving forward and keep progressing. This is the time of the year to be able to do that. And I know you can do that throughout the rest of the season as well, but most important to get everything sorted out and ready to go here for when region play starts. And that is not far away for any of these football teams. So solid night last night all around for Glynn Academy and the Red Terrors. Obviously the victory there, 35-14 over Winder Barrow, had that 35-0 lead there going into halftime. And as Coach said, do think that's interesting. And, obviously you have relationships between coaches throughout the state of Georgia and throughout the country. And Ed Dudley, Rocky Hidalgo, a couple of those guys that have crossed paths several times, obviously, and find themselves as really good friends. And no, you never want to see a game like that be non-competitive when you care about someone on the other side. But still, Glynn Academy able to get the big victory. So I'm sure Coach Hidalgo very happy about that, no doubt. And like you said, really, it's kind of an understatement there with the passing game being able to be on sync and be in sync and be on the record with each other. 3 touchdown passes from Tyler Devlin, the touchdown pass from Jackson Wakeland to David Prince there last night, and a huge night for the Red Terrors to get their first win of 2021. But we'll come back, keep talking about these high school football teams and big wins in the coastal Georgia and Okefenokee area, and keep chatting with some high school football coaches here on the High School Sports Roundup, presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet here on ESPN Radio, coastal Georgia and Okefenokee, and the ESPN app. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's High School Sports Roundup here on ESPN Radio, Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee. PJ Zucco here with you this morning, all presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet. Glynn Academy with the 35-14 victory over Winder Barrow there last night. Camden County defeats Inlet Grove 46-21. Ware County over Baldwin 41-20. It was Pierce County defeating Claxton there 38-0 last night. Calvary Day over Frederica Academy 47-14. Charlton County defeating Long County 42-0. And joining us now, chat with us about his team there, the Frederica Academy and Knights. They traveled up to Calvary Day last night. Sadly, don't come home with a victory there against Calvary Day, but played against a really solid program and still off to a solid start with a victory over Valwood a couple weeks ago here for the Frederica Academy Knights in 2021 as well. But joining us now to chat with us about the program and the Knights, Brandon Derrick, head coach of Frederica Academy. Coach Derrick, great to have you on. How you doing this morning?
Doing pretty good. How's everybody there?
Oh, not bad at all, Coach, and doing great. And great to have you on this morning. And I know, a tough one there last night. Calvary Day, a really solid program, solid team there out of Single A Private in GHSA, and they end up getting the victory there last night. But still, I'm sure a good road trip to play against a solid program and just to have a tough night all in all.
Yeah, we're trying to get reloaded. We got like 20 kids. You go up and play Calvary, who's pretty established. I'd say they're probably, an Elite Eight, Final Four GHSA team. They were last year, and they played really well last year. They're really good this year. Got a lot of depth, very very skilled. Got a lot of very good players up there. We go play last night. I thought we played hard. We made some mistakes, shot ourselves in the foot, got a holding penalty on one call. And then we had a bad snap on the punt. And then we fumbled the ball on the 1 yard line. We'd say scooped and scored and ran all the way back right at the end of the half, literally the last play of the half. So I thought we did a lot of things good. We just made some mistakes that shot ourselves in the foot and didn't allow us to capitalize on anything. But I thought we moved the ball against a very, very, very good defense at times. And there was other times you struggle, and that's what you're going to do against really good football teams. So we got some things to work on, but we'll continue to get better, and we'll go from there.
Right, Coach, understandable. And you talk about offensively being able to move the ball against a really strong defense. I know a really strong defensive line there at Calvary Day as well. And like you said, I mean, a few plays here and there, and I feel like it's a different ball game, especially when you talk about the special teams plays and the fumble there at the 1 yard line that kind of turned things around. So at the end of the day, as you mentioned, important to make everyone, but also the team understand, like, man, if we can knock down, if we can fix a few of these things, games like this, it could be actually really close.
Yeah, and that's what we talk about every week for us. There's really three keys to being pretty good for us because of our numbers. Create turnovers, don't turn the ball over, and be good on special teams. And we had a couple turnovers, and we messed up a time or two on special teams, and that cost us. So, but when you got just about every kid you got going both ways,
right?
You're going to make a few mistakes here and there, and I think for us, you go play better teams, you get better. Doesn't do you any good to not go play really good competition, and I've always tried to play really good competition to get our kids ready for down the stretch. And we'll look back on it and we'll be like, wow, we played a really good football team, and they're going to go real deep, and I think it'll help us down the road, and it'll make us better.
Right, Coach, for sure. And I know I talked about having to go both ways and things like that, not having a ton of numbers. I know one guy there in Triplet is very strong for your football team and has been doing some big things, and not only, of course, offensively and defensively. And he's a special guy you got there for sure. Yeah,
Jordan had a pretty good night. I'd say he had over 100-something yards rushing against them. It's probably a pretty tall feat because they're a really good defense. They got a lot of mass up front. Their defensive line is very strong. They got a guy that's 305, a defensive end that's just, they were really good. But, we were able to find some things, and we executed and made some plays.
Talking to Brandon Derrick, head coach of the Frederica Academy Knights, our guest here on the High School Sports Roundup. Tough night later last night against Calvary Day, but all in all, a solid start to the season, Coach. I know you took on Valwood there last week as well and got a big victory. And defensively, you guys are looking strong so far to start the season. I know hold them to 6 points there last week. And I know, obviously Calvary Day able to get in the end zone a few times there last night. But how would you talk about your defense so far and evaluate their play?
I thought we did what we had to do against them. For Valwood was create turnovers, and I think our guys did a good job. We were turnover minded going in. We made some big stops when we needed to. I thought we tackled well in the open field against Valwood in our secondary. We did a lot of things really good against Valwood. We caught them at probably the ideal time. It was kind of their first game. They had like 1 quarter of experience, in there. Before they came over, and we caught them at a good time. But the kids played well; they played hard, and when you got 21 kids, all you can do is ask them to play hard and give them everything you got. So that's pretty much what we did, and our kids executed, and we got a win.
Yeah, absolutely. A big win there for Frederica Academy. Start off the season 1-1 on the year here for 2021. And Coach, as you said, navigating through these strong non-region games and looking forward to region play later in the year. But starting off here at 1-1 off to the start of the season, what do you feel like? As you mentioned, the efforts there, you guys are playing hard on both sides of the ball, and like you said, and have the same guys on both sides of the ball doing exactly that. But as we talked about, playing good programs and getting set for region play, what do you feel like are a few things that your team can still progress on and get better at as you get closer to that most important time of the year?
I think biggest thing we got to do is just try to stay healthy, keep guys healthy. We lost Thomas Ville, our starting quarterback last week, Valwood. He broke his arm, so we got to get him back, in the next 5 weeks, hopefully. We get him back, and that'll help us going forward. Get him back, and I think for us, it's just really learning the game. We got a lot of young kids, I wouldn't say a lot of young kids. We got young kids, but we got a lot of kids with not a lot of football experience and learning the game and understanding where their fit is on defense and, how to contain, how to take things on. We're still doing a lot of teaching, and, we get better and better every week. And that's our goal, is to get better and better every week. So we'll see. I think we've been doing that, but you play really good competition. You got to get ready every week to be ready to go. So, we got another tough game coming up this Friday with Tift Area, who we beat last year in the Final Four, and they've got a great team and a really good quarterback. So we got to go out and game plan and get our kids ready to play.
As Coach Derrick said right there, played them and beat them in the playoffs there last year, and good competition coming to Frederica Academy once again in this non-region slate, getting ready for the most important time of the year, which I know for everybody will be a lot quicker than we know it. I mean, we look up, we're already looking forward to week 3 there in Giza, now already in week 3 for a lot of these GHS teams. So navigating through the high school football season at a rapid pace as always. But Brandon Derrick, head coach of the Frederica Academy Knights, has been our guest here on the High School Sports Roundup. Coach Derrick, great to have you on. Great to hear from you. I appreciate it, and we'll look forward to talking to you more throughout the season.
Okie doke. Thanks, sir.
I appreciate it, Coach. Brandon Derrick, head coach of the Frederica Academy Knights, our guest here on the High School Sports Roundup, brought to you by Walker Jones Chevrolet. So, yeah, tough night there last night at Calvary Day. Again, I would agree with him. Calvary Day, I think, an Elite 8, a Final Four type of football team. They're in single A private in the GHSA, and just a really strong football team altogether. And really, Frederica Academy here, and they were able to move the football very well, had those turnovers, had some of those mistakes. I mean, you talk about being on the 1 yard line with a couple seconds left in the first half, and that one going all the way back to score for Calvary Day is just not how you draw it up by any means. But you change those things, you change a few of those things, don't turn the ball over here and there, and boom, you're knocking on the door of challenging and possibly beating a very talented Calvary Day football team. Could have turned things all around. So you're also battling with low numbers there, but at the end of the day, them doing a good job there at Frederica Academy. We'll come back and we'll figure out how they progress here throughout the season. Obviously, a playoff type matchup with Tift area next week, and we'll keep an eye on that and see how everything goes for the Knights throughout the rest of 2021, sitting at 1-1 now. But we'll come back, go over these games and scores once again with you, and lead you out and lead you into some college football here on ESPN Radio High School, ESPN Radio Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee. Of course, it's the High School Sports Roundup, all presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet. We'll be right back. And welcome back. It's High School Sports Roundup here on ESPN Radio Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee, the ESPN app, and ESPNCoastal.com. PJ Zucco here with you as we go through this roundup one more time and get you set for the rest of your day here on ESPN Radio Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee. Glynn Academy, the Red Terrors, with the first win of 2021 last night, 35-14 over Winder Barrow, 35-0 lead at halftime before the running clock there in the second half. Both coaches agreed upon that. Winder Barrow with that long road trip home there last night as well, and agreed to that. So Winder Barrow gets in the end zone a few times in the second half, but Glynn Academy able to get a big win going into the bye week, build that momentum going into the bye week as well, and keep on progressing, keep on getting better. Like Coach Hidalgo said earlier in the show, not an off week, a bye week, two different things. So going to be out there practicing and can't have wasted practices or anything like that. I mean, we talk about the importance of that every single week on not only this show, but High School First Look as well. So Glynn Academy, looking forward to that here coming up this week. Camden County with a victory over Inlet Grove last night. You had Ware County defeating Baldwin 41-20. Thomas Castellanos in the end zone once again, a few times on the ground, a few times through the air. Cartavius Norton doing his thing, running the football for Ware County as well. And don't worry, it's not all offense either. It's back to historic Ware County defense as well. And big interceptions throughout the first half last night for the Gators. I think 2 there in the first half and causing havoc and turnovers all night there for Ware County. So in another impressive showing, the Gators off to a 3-0 start with the win over Baldwin. Pierce County defeating Claxton last night, getting over 500 for the Bears, 2-1 now on the season. That one was 38-0. Second straight shutout for that Bears defense. And being able to play stronger as they get back to full health. Still had some guys out last night. But I mean, you talk about several guys out due to different reasons, whether it be injury, contact tracing, or whatever in that first week of the season, and then had another couple guys go down against Brunswick High there, but able to come back, get the win over Wayne County, look really good doing so last week, 25-0. And then, of course, last night, you have the victory over Claxton, 38-0 there as well. Calvary Day defeating Frederica Academy 47-14 there last night as the Knights fall to 1-1 on the season, but a strong, that's an impressive high school football team and program in Calvary Day. Frederica Academy going to get better throughout the year, and going to get, you talk about your starting quarterback going down with a broken arm as well there in the first game of the season. So having to get through that, hopefully we'll see Thomas Veal there back for Frederica Academy in 4 or 5 weeks, as Coach Derrick mentioned, and navigating through this non-region schedule, just like everybody else. And you're probably sick of hearing me say it, but man, non-region schedule, all about getting better and getting prepared for the more important games later in the year. Charlton County 40-0 victory over Long County there last night. Teams off: Brunswick High, Brantley County, McIntosh County Academy, and Wayne County there last night. We'll see them back on the field coming up next week, hopefully with Wayne County. That was obviously due to a COVID issue. So hopefully they get back to full strength and get everything cleared up with contact tracing and whatnot. And we'll see the Yellow Jackets back on the field soon. But some huge games coming up for all these high school football teams. You have region games starting soon. Brunswick High, New Hampstead, gonna be huge. That one, England County Stadium, as well as it's transitioned and made the move to Brunswick. So that going to be a big one for sure, and looking forward to that. But Glynn Academy transitioning into this off week, and all these other teams getting set for some huge games and huge regular season showdowns coming up over the course of the next few weeks before region play starts up for all of them. But I'm PJ Zucco. This has been the High School Sports Roundup presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet on ESPN Radio Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. right here. Appreciate you listening. Stay safe wherever you go the rest of your weekend. Enjoy some college football, and God bless.